Okay. Now previously we had seen about the definition of rigid body. Now I mentioned that it is a solid body. Rigid body is nothing but a solid body in which if you take any 2 points, the distance between those 2 points will remain constant. It is not going to change. Now thereafter I had given one example for identifying the rigid body and non-rigid body. Now I had given a solid body. For example, I had given now I had given the example with some iron piece, okay, and here a sponge, okay. Now this iron is a rigid body, okay. Now first thing is that it is a solid. Now here this is non-rigid body. It is not a rigid body here, non-rigid body here. Sponge is a non-rigid body. Now how can you identify that? Means if you apply certain forces onto this iron piece, okay, at a time, so this particular dimension is not going to change. Okay. Now how can you identify the rigid body here? Means if the particles are there somewhat like this, okay, even applying certain forces here, so this is going to remain as it is. The distance between these particles will remain as it is. Okay, so it is not undergoing any deformation. So the solid body will remain solid without any change in the dimensions. Okay, there is no change in the dimension. Now, how can you identify here the next important point? The distance between any 2 points will remain same. If this is the distance between these two, even after applying the forces, the distance will remain same. There is no change in the distance between those particles. Now go to the non-rigid body with some example as a sponge here. I am considering it as a sponge here. Now if you try to apply different forces, okay, number of forces at a time, what you can expect, this particular size of this sponge is going to reduce, okay, and even the shape will also reduce depending on the amount of forces. So this is not a rigid body. Sponge is not a rigid body. So here what is a rigid body means you need to identify it is a solid body. Next thing is that the points, if you are considering the points, the distance between any two consecutive points will remain same. If you take these 2 points, again the distance will remain same as it is without any change even after the application of forces. Even if it is undergoing some motion also, these distances will remain constant. Okay, so that is the thing you need to identify regarding the definition. So what is the definition here? A rigid body, if you can add it is a solid body. Rigid body is a solid body in which, okay, the relative distance between any pair of points, pair in the sense 2 points, you are considering here pair means 2. If you take any 2 points, the distance will remain constant. It will remain constant. Okay. So here we can add a point here, not heavy forces. Okay, moderate range. Moderate range means there should be no deformation. Okay, till that particular point we consider it as a moderate force. Simply thing is that it is a solid body. Regarding the definition, it is a solid body, okay, in which the distance between any pair of points, it should remain constant. Okay, so that is the thing regarding the definition of the rigid body. Now regarding the movement or the motion, we had seen yesterday with some examples. There will be the translation motion and the rotation motion, and you might had observed the image also, the image animation I had shown. Let me show it once again. If it is possible, I will show it. Okay, now here. So this was the animation that we had seen yesterday. Okay, now here this is rotation. Now here it is translation. Okay, next both combination is nothing but rolling. I think you are able to see this particular image. Yesterday we had seen about this also. Now the same thing here. We can draw the concept also. Now here the same image. If you can see here, this is the image with the animation here. Now the same thing here. The first part is about the, here if you can identify here, this is the rotation here, and here this is the translation here. The result of this, the combined motion here, it is a combined motion. It is a combined motion here, the combination of these two. Okay. So what is rolling here? Rolling is the combination of these two. Simply you can name this as a rolling of the object. Okay, circular object we are considering here in the image. So what is the meaning of translation means? Regarding translation, if you consider some circular object, okay, if it is moving in a line like this, if it is moving in a line, okay, it is moving like this, okay, it is considered as a translation motion. It is moving in a particular direction, we consider it as a translation motion. Okay, now what is rotation? If you can consider the same circle, okay, now it is not going to move anywhere. It is not going to move anywhere if you take separately rotation. Okay, now here what you can say, there is a fixed point here. You can take a fixed axis, you can consider here. Now surrounding this axis, it is going to move. Okay, the object, this particular body is not going to move anywhere, but it is going to rotate around this particular axis. So that is the rotation. Okay, so the combination of these two is nothing but the rolling. Okay, so in this particular third diagram, what happens? You can see here. So this is a translation. It is going only in one direction here. Now in the combination, it is rotating and it is moving. Okay, this is only rotation. It is not moving here. Now regarding translation, it is not rotating, but it is moving. Now the third thing, it is rotating and moving. Okay, the combined motion. The combined motion we are considering it as a rolling. Okay, now similarly, you can identify. Let me do one thing. I will take the change in this. Okay, now let us go. So here types of motions, if you want to identify the types of motions. Okay, now the types of motions generally can denote it as first one as a translation, second one as a rotation. Okay, now third one, the combination of these two. Third one will be the combination of these two. Now it can be considered as a general plane motion. We can name that particular combination as motion. Okay, now in this example, in this particular example, what we had seen, okay, this example here, the general motion we are considering it as a rolling. In this particular example, the combination we are calling it as a rolling, ROLLING. Okay, rolling. Okay, so particularly you need to identify that the types of motions are there. Translation means it is moving only in one direction. Okay, rotation means it is not moving anywhere, but it is rotating around the axis here, there itself. Okay, now here in general motion, it is rotating and it is moving. It is moving here somewhat like this. Now regarding those examples, regarding the example, we can see car, bike, okay, or bicycle, okay, whatever it may be. Okay, somewhat the moving objects, whatever the things are there. So there you can identify they are having the wheels are rotating and the bike is moving or the car is moving. Okay, that is having the combination of translation and rotation. Okay, now other than that, yesterday we had seen, or let me go with this. Okay, small explanation is there. If you want to identify Okay, students, are you able to see this screen sharing? Okay, visible. Okay. Okay, now let us continue here. So the combination, we are dealing about the combination here. Combination of translation motion and the rotation motion. Now you can identify here what is going on. Now consider this as a cylinder here. Individually, this is the diagram actually. Now theoretically, what we are going to draw. This is a two-dimensional diagram. This is three-dimensional diagram. This is 3D. This is 2D. Now here this is the base. This is a base here. Okay. On this particular support, this particular cylinder is going to rotate. Okay, it is going to move somewhere. It is moving forward direction. Now moving means this is the direction. It is moving in this direction. Now how it is going to move means it is directly rolling here. It is going undergoing the rolling process. Rolling in the sense, what is the meaning of rolling in here? It is a combination of translation and rotation. So you need to identify what is the meaning of translation. Translation means this, it is going to move in this direction here. This is the translation. Okay. And again, here this is the rotation. This particular cylinder is going to rotate, okay, around this particular axis, around this axis. Okay. So here, what are these dots means? If you can identify a solid, previously I had given a solid here, it is having some number of points. Okay, rigid body is having number of points. So these are the points here. If you can identify here, these are the points, or you can identify that these are the forces that are going to be acting. Okay, tangentially there are number of forces, okay, which we are not able to expect in the diagram here. So these arrow marks, you can expect these as the tangential forces. Tangential in the sense, these forces are not going inside. They are acting only on the surface of this particular solid in this example. So due to that, what happens? It is going to rotate about this axis. Okay. And as a result also, it is going to move in the forward direction. So regarding the rolling process of this cylinder, you can expect there is a translation motion. Okay, due to this particular translation motion, what is going on here? The cylinder is moving in the forward direction, and also there is a rotation. It is rotating about this particular axis. Now, regarding that, what you can expect? The solid is made of number of particles, and each particle will have the mass. Their particular mass will be there. Now, at the entire center of mass, if you can take the mean of this particular mass, we consider this as the center of mass here. So this particular center of mass is indicated as C here. Okay. So this mass is also be considered as a rotating about this particular axis. Okay. The center of mass is also participating in the rotation process, and due to that, the cylinder is undergoing the rolling process. Okay, so you need to identify that rolling is nothing but combination of translation and rotation, simply. Okay, so regarding the thing, there are different motions. First thing you need to identify, there is translation motion, rotation motion, and the third thing you need to have the combination of these two. Okay, now the same thing here, we had drawn the diagrams. Okay, three diagrams. Now individually, this is the translation motion. Okay, and this is the rotation motion, and the combination of these two is going to give this. Okay, the solid is going to move in the forward direction. It is going to move in the forward direction. So in this diagram, what you can expect here, so V is the velocity. V is the velocity, and here Cm is the center of mass. Okay, so here you are identifying 2 points are there, Q and P. Okay, P and Q are there. So these points are moving with some velocity V, and here the center of mass of this. Okay, now this is regarding the translation motion. Due to this, what happens? It will move in this direction, in the forward direction. Okay, there is no rotation in this diagram. If you consider separately, we consider separately here, it is going to move in forward direction. There will be no rotation. But if we are going to consider the rotation here, this particular object or this particular rigid body is going to rotate about the center, or you can consider this as the axis. Okay. Now, if you combine these two at a time, then what you can expect, this rigid body is rotating. Okay. One process here, one motion here, and it is moving in the forward direction. So this is known as a combined motion here, or the motion in the general plane. Now let us see about the next topic here, kinematics. Okay, so what actually here we are going to see about the movement of the objects. Okay, without considering any force concepts, we are not going to get any equations of the forces. So without depending on the forces, we will see certain mathematics. Okay, so kinematics is nothing but it is going to explain about the motion without any participation of forces. We are not going to deal about any forces in this particular topic. Now for that one, you can identify the first point. Let me take another paper. Okay, let me take here. Okay, now I will write the topic name here. So first, let us take some object is there. I will take a concept here. If you can identify some solid body is there, solid body here, or a rigid body here. Consider this as a rigid body. So I'm going to give a comparison so that you can identify the topic. Now rigid body is a solid body and it will have number of points or number of particles inside this. Okay, there are number of particles. So you can consider this as a system of particles. System of particles. Okay, so the entire solid we are considering, which is a rigid body. What is the meaning of rigid body? Rigid body is a solid body, and in that particular solid body, you will have the distance between any two pair of or any pair of points will remain same. If you take any pair, okay, the distance will remain same even after the forces are acting on it. Okay, so we are considering a comparison here. So this is a diagram for rigid body. Okay, now here without any rigid body, we will take one particle here. Take one particle here. Okay, one particle. Okay, we will compare here. We will compare to get the concept. Okay, so comparing a particle with the entire system here. Okay, now let us see here. Now, if the particle is moving, here, we will consider the position can be given by x. Okay, or else if the distance, if you are considering the distance or displacement, okay, it is going to give a concept here. If a particle is there at point, at some particular point O is there, if it is moving somewhere within a distance here somewhat, it has reached here. So you can expect this is the displacement of the particle. Okay, now this is regarding the particle, single particle here. Now I will explain first about the particle. What are the things we are going to take? Next, if the displacement is there, so let us take this as point number 1. Let us take this as point 1. I will change the color here. This is point number 1. Okay. Now let us take the second point. So meanwhile, we are going to get what is there regarding point 1, what is there regarding point 2. Okay. First you identify what are the things we are going to explain. So first thing is we are going to take the displacement here. Okay. Second thing regarding the velocity. So what will be the velocity of the particle if it is moving? Okay, so we are considering about the particle in this. Okay, so particle is going to be displaced. Okay, if the particle is displacing for a particular time period, the next thing is we are going to get the velocity. So velocity can be given as rate of change of displacement. Simply you can give this as dx by dt. Okay, now if the velocity is again changing, then you are going to get the acceleration. You are going to get the acceleration. So how can you give the acceleration? Acceleration A can be given as rate of change of velocity. dv by dt. Now if you substitute this particular expression here, if you come back and if you substitute here, okay, so d by dt, okay, what is v here? It is dx by dt. So what you can write here, d square x by dt square. Okay, so for up to this point, let us compare with the system of particles. Let us go with this. Now to identify what is this, I will draw one more diagram here. I will draw a diagram. So consider a rigid body, okay. Now here consider this is a center of this particular body, some point O, okay. Now let us take one of the point. A point is there on the surface of the rigid body. Take this as point P. Now here it is there on the surface, so this gives the radius of this circle, if you can consider this as a circle. So r is the radius, or else you can consider the distance from point O or the center to the point. Now here we are considering a particle is there in this and it is moving. Okay. Now here this is a particle P, point P are the particle here. Now it is going to move. It is going to move. Okay. Under what condition it is going to move? If this particular entire solid is going to rotate, okay, if you consider the rotation of this particular solid or the rigid body, okay, we are considering a small concept inside that particular rotation. Suppose this is a solid, okay, it has rotated, it has undergone a small rotation it has undergone. Now due to this particular small rotation, what is going on in this, okay, that we are seeing. Okay, now I will erase this. So now here there is a particular point P is there, okay, due to the rotation of the rigid body through certain small angle, this point has reached to point P. It has reached somewhere here. Okay, it has undergone certain displacement. Now how can you find what is the displacement means? You draw a line like this. Now this is the angle theta. So point P has reached point Q, okay, through an rotation, small angular rotation as theta. So now what is the important point means? So here we got x as the displacement, here. Now here what is the displacement here? We are going to consider it as the angular displacement. So regarding the rigid body, the thing is that we are going to start with the angular displacement. So in case of particle, okay, we are considering only displacement. So now what is the angular displacement here? It is represented as theta. Okay, theta is a representation here. Now regarding this particular diagram, if you want to extend this, here theta is there. So this is the theta here. Now here if you can go with from point P to point Q. Okay, this is this. Okay, if you can go with another color like this, somewhat green color. So here this is the displacement it has undergone, linear displacement. If you want to find the length of this particular thing, okay, it is some arc, it is just like some arc. Okay, so we consider it as a arc length, okay, or else some linear displacement from point P to point Q. What is the distance? If I ask that question, then you are going to take the concept of arc length. By means of arc length, you can give the equation here. If you want to find the length of this PQ, just simply multiply the R value with theta. If you multiply these two, then it is going to give the arc length. What is arc length? The distance from point P to point Q. Okay, why you are getting this concept here? Because the solid has undergone a small rotation. Okay, due to that the point P moved to somewhere to point Q. Okay, so due to that you are going to get some arc length. Arc length is nothing but here the distance traveled here. Okay, now here let us go with the second point. So first thing is that displacement in the point the particle is x here. Now here instead of displacement we are going to take the angular displacement. Now instead of x we are going to take theta. Okay. Now arc length we got this as PQ, or else you can take this as L. Okay, L as the arc length. So if you want you can replace this L equals to arc length, L equals to r theta. Okay. Now let us go with this. Now what is the the velocity? Second point. Let us go with the velocity. So which velocity we are going to speak here? Again you place this word. Okay, angular velocity. Okay, angular displacement, angular velocity. So angular velocity we are going to represent this as omega. Angular velocity we are going to represent it as omega. So are you able to follow this? Are you following this? Because only these topics we are going to cover in the upcoming mid examination on 22nd. Okay, now from this particular point, if you want to convert this equation here, okay, if you want to get the theta value, the angular displacement, theta can be given as L by R. Okay, the angular displacement can be given as L by R. Now let us go with the angular velocity. Now here what is velocity here? Velocity is nothing but rate of change of distance here or the displacement. So simply you replace x with theta. You replace x with theta. So here what you are going to get? So the angular velocities can be given as the rate of change of angular displacement. If you want to write the definition here, let me go with this. Okay, now here what is angular velocity? Angular velocity can be given as rate of change of angular displacement. Okay. Now how can you give this particular angular velocity? We are going to represent this as omega. The symbol is omega, not W. Okay. So omega can be given as d theta by dt. Okay. So previously here what you had seen previously regarding the velocity v equals to dx by dt. Okay. Similar to this we are going to write this as omega, which is equals to d theta by dt. Now if you want to find the units here, so regarding the units here, what will be the units here? It will be meters per second. Okay. Or you can write like this, m s inverse. Okay. Now here it will be radians per second, or else you can write the same thing as rad, radians. Okay. Second inverse. Okay. Now, if you want to give the relation between the velocity, so you got the angular velocity. Now, if you want to give the relation between the linear velocity v and this angular velocity omega. Okay, if you want to get the relation, we can give the relation also. Okay, so how you are going to give this particular relation? So previously what we had seen regarding the displacement, if you go with this particular previous expression here from this particular diagram. So are you getting the voice or there is any disturbance? Please reply in the chat box. Because meanwhile I am getting some disturbance here.
Audible.
Okay, it is audible. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us continue. Okay. So now let us give the concept. So where we had stopped, we need to get the relation between v and omega. So what actually v? V is the linear velocity. So if we are considering the single particle, we are going to get the velocity as v. Now if we are considering the rigid body, and in that one if we are considering the particle, now during rotation we are going to get the angular velocity. Now we are going to give the relation between the linear velocity v and the angular velocity omega. So how can you get that particular relation? Now depending on the previous diagram, whatever we had seen, so if this is a rigid body, okay, and here this is the center of this, and here this is the point. Let us take any point here somewhere, okay, and here this is the final position here, and this is the angular displacement. We got this as theta, and this as the radius of the circle, and here you got this distance as L. Okay. Now depending on that, what was the expression you got? You got L equals to R theta, and from this what you got? Theta equals to R by L. Okay. Now if you are going with the expression, సౌండ్ వస్తుంది అక్కడ కొద్దిగా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది. లేదు వస్తుంది, పోతేనే వస్తుంది ఒక్కొక్కసారి. ప్లీజ్ వెయిట్. Okay, now let us complete here. Now we need to get the relation between v and omega. Now I will continue here. Now let us see the same diagram here. Now this is a circle or the object here. Now on that you are going to take some point P here. Now what we mentioned, this point P has moved to some point Q. Okay. Now here if you can identify, this is a circle here. Now just you identify what are the arrow marks that we had drawn. Now here P wants to move. It is going to move here with some velocity. So if you want to identify the movement of the particle, it will be like this. Okay. Now thereafter reaching some point Q, okay, then what is the direction of the velocity? It will be like this. Suppose after reaching point Q, somewhere if it has moved to somewhere, some Q or something S, okay, then what will be the direction? It will be like this. Okay, so these things you need to identify. The direction of the velocity is going to change. Okay, now depending on that, let us take only these 2 points, point P and point Q, and this is the center, and here this is the angular displacement theta, and this is R. Now depending on that, what we had given previously, we got arc length equals to R into theta, that we got in the previous expression. Now what is the arc length here? This is the arc length. This is the arc length from P to Q. Okay, so here the same thing here. If you want to write what is theta, here from this particular equation, theta can be given as arc length. Arc length is PQ by R. Simply you bring this particular R to this side. Okay, now we wrote arc length as PQ. This length as PQ. Okay, so theta, the angular displacement, can be given as arc length PQ by R. So now how can you give the arc length here? How can you give the arc length? Now can you identify what is the difference between theta and d theta? What is the difference between theta and d theta? Are you having any idea about this? If you want to get x and dx, what is the meaning of dx? What is the meaning of dx? Any answers from your side? What is the difference between x and dx? Okay, dx is derivative. Other than that, dx is derivative. Other than that, suppose if you are having a movement like this, a particle has moved somewhere like this between these 2 points. Suppose this is 1, this is 2. Okay, now here the particle has moved somewhere, okay, to some 0.5, some half distance here. So here it will be some 1.5. Now here, if you want to identify what this dx means, you need to take the initial value and the final value. Now if you are going with the substitution here, this will be x here, this will be x plus dx. Okay, now how can you write this particular thing here? If you want to get the dx, what you are going to take? The final value minus initial value. Okay, this is going to give the dx value. So here, so whatever you got here, the answer is some derivative you had mentioned. So actually what is the meaning of dx in this concept is that it is going to give the small value. Small value. Okay, now let us identify what is d theta here. D theta. Okay, consider that this displacement is very small. Okay, if it is very small, what is the meaning here? Instead of this diagram, if this particle from point P, it has moved somewhere to point Q. Okay, now if you compare diagram number 1 or the figure number 1 and here the second figure, so this theta is very small. Okay, consider here this as d theta. Consider this as d theta. So here what is the concept here? The angular displacement is very small. If it is the very small angular displacement, we will consider this as d theta. Okay, so now here a small angular displacement we are considering. Now how you got the value of d theta? By mentioning this particular concept. You are going to take the arc length. Arc length can be given as r into d theta if you are considering only small angular displacement. So if you want to replace this, you replace this with d theta. So what we had changed here, we had considered only a small angular displacement of d theta. depending on that small angular displacement, you are going to get d theta equals to the arc length by the radius. So from this, what is the arc length can be given as? Arc length can be given as r d theta. Okay. Now again come back here. So previously, if you are going with this, let me go with this. Okay. Okay, I will rewrite the same expression here. Now here what we had changed in this concept. Now here this is the point P here. Now this point P has moved through small angular displacement, some d theta. Okay. Now this is Q here, this is R, this is the center of this. Now what you got, the angular displacement, okay, is given as the arc length. The same thing if you can see in this particular slide. Okay, so here this is the thing here, PQ. Okay, PQ is nothing but the angular, this particular arc length here, arc length. This is the arc length. So instead of arc length, I'm going to consider this as the displacement, the linear displacement. Okay, so how can you identify the same point? Means here a particle is there, you identify some object is there, okay. Now this object moved here to some point P. Now this is the displacement here, or the distance, you can consider this as the distance here. Okay, distance, this is the distance here, so I'm writing this as this. So instead of distance, you are considering the same thing as the arc length here, arc length. Okay, by what is this? This is r from this previous concept. Okay, nice. So here some network problem is there. Okay, due to network problem, some disconnection is going on here. I think you are able to view this particular screen. Okay, are you getting the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is some network problem. Due to that, we are getting some disturbance here. So today we will complete this. I will take another 5 or 10 minutes more. Okay. Okay. Now here what we are going to get the velocity. So what is velocity here? We need to get the rate of change of displacement or the distance here according to the previous knowledge. So previously we had seen velocity is given as rate of change of distance. Okay. Now here the same thing here. We are going to consider the same thing here. Now here you can take the same distance here. This as the distance here. Okay, with respect to the time. So it is going to change. Okay. Now what is the velocity we are going to consider here? As the rigid body is rotating, we are going to take the angular velocity. Okay. Now how can you give this? Rate of change of distance. Rate of change of distance. So what is the distance we are considering? Distance here. Distance is nothing but here the arc length here. So what is arc length here? It is from point P to point Q. It is moving in this path. Okay. So that's why we are going to take this as the PQ. Okay, by dt. Okay. So now you can replace the value of that. Then what you are going to get? This as R d theta by dt. Now if you are going to get this, let me take like this. Please mute yourself. I am getting some other voices.
హలో సార్
చెప్పమ్మా.
ఆర్ ఇంటూ డిటి డిటీటా బై డిటి ఎట్లా వచ్చింది సార్?
ఆర్ ఇంటూ ఇక్కడ ఇందులోదా ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ ఇదా ఈ ఈక్వేషన్
లాస్ట్ ఈక్వేషన్.
ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ చెప్పండి.
ఒక పని చేయండి. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఈక్వేషన్ ఇది ఉంది కదా, ఇది ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
PQ ఈక్వల్స్ టు ఆర్ డి థీటా. ఓకేనా? సో ఇటువైపు dt తోటి డివైడ్ చేయండి. ఇటువైపు dt తోటి డివైడ్ చేయండి. బోత్ సైడ్స్ డివైడ్ చేయండి. చేసేటప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు ఇది చూసుకోండి, ఇది న్యూమరేటర్, ఇది న్యూమరేటర్. ఓకే. సో దీన్ని డివైడ్ చేయండి, ఇటువైపు డివైడ్ చేయండి, ఇటువైపు డివైడ్ చేయండి. ఓకేనా? క్లియరా?
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. సో అదే అన్నమాట. నౌ హియర్ ద వెలాసిటీ కెన్ బి గివెన్ యాజ్ డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైమ్. Okay, the same thing here. Distance is PQ, okay, by time. Instead of t, we are taking a small t. So it is dt. Okay, somewhat like this. So from there you will get this. So what actually d theta by d d theta by dt means? It is nothing but omega. It is omega. So you will replace this quantity. You will replace this quantity here as omega. You will replace this as omega. Okay. So here I'm rewriting the same equation here. PQ equals to R d theta. Okay. Now you divide here this side with dt and see here also dt. Now this factor actually it is a omega here. So you will get this as R omega. Okay. So this is the angular velocity. Okay. Omega is the angular velocity. And here this is the velocity here. If you want to give this can be given as a velocity. Okay, according to the previous knowledge.
d theta by d theta omega వాల్యూ ఇచ్చారు సార్.
ఏంటది ఒకసారి రిపీట్ చేయండి.
యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ అంటే ఒమేగా సార్.
ఒక్కరు మాట్లాడండి, ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు? చెప్పండి. 103 కాకుండా ఇంకెవరు మాట్లాడారు? 102నా ఎవరు మాట్లాడారు? ఇంకా
138.
ఓకే, 138. ఒకసారి రిపీట్ చేయండి ఇదేంటో.
ఇప్పుడు d theta by d theta అంటే అది వాల్యూ ఒమేగా మీరే ఇచ్చిరా లేకపోతే వాల్యూ మెన్షన్ చేసిరా సార్?
ఒమేగా మనకు వచ్చినట్టు ఇక్కడ మనం స్టార్ట్ చేసాం కదా కాన్సెప్ట్. ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ లో మనం ఏం స్టార్ట్ చేసాం, ఇక్కడ కంపేర్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇక్కడ ఒక్క నిమిషం బ్యాక్ వెళ్దాం అవ్వండి. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ చూసుకోండి. ఇక్కడ యాంగులర్ డిస్ప్లేస్మెంట్ టీటా అని తీసుకున్నాం కదా. ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్ యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీని ఏమని తీసుకుంటున్నాం? ఒమేగా అని తీసుకుంటున్నాము. ఓకే, దీని వాల్యూ ఎంత? డి టీటా బై డిటి. ఓకేనా? ప్రీవియస్ కాన్సెప్ట్ లో వెలాసిటీ తీసుకున్నాము. వెలాసిటీకి ఏమని తీసుకున్నాం? డిఎక్స్ బై డిటి అని తీసుకున్నాము. సో ఇక్కడ సింపుల్ గా మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే ఎక్స్ ప్లేస్ లో టీటా సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసాము, వి ప్లేస్ లో ఒమేగా సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసాము. ఓకే, సో ఇదేమో ఒక లీనియర్ కాన్సెప్ట్, ఇదేమో రొటేషన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ లో. ఓకేనా? క్లియర్ అయిందా?
సార్
ఓకే, ఇంకా 103 ఏంటి డౌట్ అది?
చూసుకోవాలి.
వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు.
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఓకే
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే.
అంటే
నౌ
ఇప్పుడు
హియర్ దిస్ ఈస్
యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ
యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ.
యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ ఒమేగా అని తీసుకున్నారు కదా సార్.
అవును అవును అవును.
అక్కడ వి ఉంటే అక్కడ ఒమేగా ఎందుకు రాలే?
ఓకే ఓకే. ఇక్కడ ఇది ఇది
అర్థమైంది
ఇది
సార్.
దీని రిలేషన్ గురించి అని చెప్తున్నా. ఇక్కడ రిలేషన్ అన్నమాట. యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ, ఇక్కడ యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ, ఇక్కడ యాంగులర్ వెలాసిటీ అండ్ వెలాసిటీకి రిలేషన్, ఈ రెండింటికి రిలేషన్ మనం ఇవ్వాలి ఈక్వేషన్ లో. ఓకేనా, క్లియరా? Okay, so now here we got this v equals to r omega. Okay, now about acceleration. Let us go with acceleration. Now in the linear case we are taking acceleration as a. Now here regarding the rotation we are going to take angular acceleration. Okay,
సార్
చెప్పండి, ఎవరు మాట్లాడండి, చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఈ PQ బై DT ఎక్కడ పోయింది?
PQ by DT నా? ఇది డిస్టెన్స్ అనుకున్నాం కదా, ఇది డిస్టెన్స్ అనుకున్నాం అనమాట. డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైం మనం అనుకుంటున్నాం కదా, ఆర్క్ లెంత్. ఇది PQ అనేది వాల్యూ కాదు, జస్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్ అనుకోండి. ఇది వెలాసిటీ అంటే ఏంటి యాక్చువల్గా? డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైం కదా, డిస్టెన్స్. ఇది డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైం ఇది. ఓకే, టైంని DT అని రాశాను, డిస్టెన్స్ని PQ అని రాశాను. అందుకే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఇక్కడ క్లియర్గా అందుకే చెప్పాను. ఇక్కడ చూసారా, ఇక్కడ డిస్టెన్స్ అనేది
Okay, sir.
PQ అని తీసుకుంటున్నారు, ఇక్కడ PQ అని తీసుకుంటున్నారు అని మెన్షన్ చేశాను నేను ఇక్కడ. డిస్టెన్స్ అనేది ఏంటి అంటే
Okay.
ఆర్క్ లెంత్ అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా? ఓకే
ఓకే
ఓకే. నౌ హియర్ యాక్సిలరేషన్ లో ప్రీవియస్లీ we had seen a as a representation. Now regarding angular acceleration here, regarding the rotation, we are going to take this as alpha. Okay, so I'm repeating here the similarity. So instead of x, here we are going to take theta. Okay, instead of v we are going to take omega. Okay, now instead of a we are going to take alpha. So x is the displacement. Now here it is the angular displacement. So this is the velocity, this is the angular velocity, and here this is the acceleration, this is the angular acceleration. Okay, now we will see about that, what is going on in this expression. Okay, now previously what was the acceleration here? If you want to get the expression in terms of v, acceleration can be given as dv by dt. Okay, now here what you are going to get here, you can expect, you replace v here. Okay, replace v with omega, then what you will get? D omega by dt. Okay, now if you want to replace again in terms of x here, replace x here. Okay, in terms of x, what you will get? D by dt. Now v is nothing but dx by dt. Okay, so this gives the expression dx square, d square x by dt square. Okay, now similarly you can replace the concept here. So what is omega actually? Omega is nothing but d theta by dt. Okay, now you replace that omega, you will get dt, and here d theta by dt. Okay, now here this can be given as d square theta by dt square. So angular acceleration alpha can be given as d square theta by dt. Now, the linear acceleration is this. Okay, now this is the thing we wrote here, we got this expression here. So alpha is the angular acceleration, this is the angular acceleration. Mute చేయండి ఎవరో. Okay, so now here this is the angular acceleration we got, and if you want to write the units also, regarding units. Now regarding velocity, what you are going to write here in the case of this concept regarding the particle concept. Now velocity can be given as the units as meters per second, and here regarding omega, the units will be radians per second. Okay, and regarding acceleration, the units will be meters per second square, and the same thing here regarding this, you are going to get radians per second square. Okay, or else you can write this as radians second inverse, and here radians second inverse square. Okay, those are the units for that. Okay, so now here if you are considering the object, the entire object. Okay, now we mentioned only a single particle here. We mentioned a particle P. Now if there is another particle somewhere, if you are marking this as P1, okay, we got the expressions for the P1 here. Now what might be the expressions for P2 means? It will be remaining same because this is there on the solid. Okay, the P1 is there on the solid, P2 is also there on the solid. If it is rotating with some velocity, and this particular P is also rotating with that particular velocity. Okay, so those things will remain same. So that is the thing you need to identify here. The omega value is the same for all the particles. Okay, it will remain same. And similarly, the acceleration of that particular object will also remain same. Okay, alpha is also same. Now here the relation between alpha and A. So previously we got the relation between V and omega, and here we are going to get the relation between A and alpha. Okay, so what actually A is given as the rate of change of velocity. Okay, what is alpha? It is rate of change of omega. Okay, now if you are dividing the equation, okay, this equation with this, what you are going to get? A by alpha, which is given as, you can cancel these two, so you will get this as dv by d omega. Okay, now what actually V, so here you got the expression here in this equation, you got V equals to r omega, so you can replace that. So V actually is equal to r omega, so you replace that, then what you will get? D by d omega, and here instead of V you can replace this as r omega. Okay, now r is constant. Okay, r is the constant value, so then what you will get? This as r d omega by d omega, then this will be equals to r. Okay, a by r equals to, sorry, a by alpha equals to r. So from here what you will get? A equals to alpha into r. Okay, so if you are going to get this as a scalar product, and if you want to write this as a vector product, you can write like this. So this is a thing you need to identify the relations. Okay, now what actually the important thing is that if you go with the velocity, okay, what was there? It is r multiplied with the angular velocity. If you are going with the acceleration A, then what is this? It will be equals to r multiplied with the angular acceleration. So just you are going to multiplying the r value. What actually r? R is the radius of this circular motion. Okay, if the object is moving, okay, the particles are there rotating with some angle, this particular radius. Okay, if there is another particle somewhere here, then the r value change. If the particle is here, then the r value is reduced here. If this is r1 here, this will be r2. So depending on the position of the particle, you need to change the r value. Okay, if the particle is there somewhere here, okay, somewhat nearer to the center, then r value changes. Okay, so depending on the position of the particle, you need to change the r value. Okay, so now here those are the relations between the velocity and the angular velocity, acceleration and the angular acceleration. Okay, now if you want to compare the relations, simple comparison here. So previously you know about the distance can be given as velocity into time. Velocity can be given as distance by time. So the distance can be given as v into t. Now here instead of s, the distance is theta here. Now instead of v, you are going to replace this as the angular velocity. Similarly, v equals to u plus at, u plus at. Now here instead of v, what is u actually? U is the initial velocity. What is v? V is the final velocity. Now here initial velocity, we are going to write this as omega 1. Okay. The final velocity, we are going to write this as omega 2. So now what is the change here? V equals to u plus at. We are going to write this as omega 2 equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. So a should be replaced with alpha. Now similarly, s equals to ut plus half at square. If you want to rewrite that particular equation in the concept of rigid body rotation, you replace the distance here s as theta here. Okay, replace this with theta, and here u is the initial velocity. Now initial velocity we are considering it as omega 1. Omega 1. Now t remains time. Okay, a is the acceleration. Acceleration here it is alpha. Okay, so these are the equations that we can compare with the previous concepts. Okay, just if you want to rewrite those equations, let us see here what is the thing we wrote. So s equals to vt. So how you got this particular expression here? Actually v equals to distance by time. So we got the distance. Now in this concept of rotation, what is distance here? It is theta, angular displacement, and here the velocity is angular velocity and into t. Now regarding the expression v equals to u plus at. Okay. Now here the initial velocity considered as omega 1. Okay, or else omega naught. Okay, let us consider here as omega 1. Now what is a here? We are going to replace with the angular acceleration. Okay, and the final velocity as omega 2. Now similarly, s equals to ut plus half at square. Now you can rewrite that theta equals to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. Okay, similarly you can replace all the things whenever required. You can replace that. So v square minus u square. So how can you write here? Omega 2 square minus omega 1 square. So this equals to 2as. What you can write here? 2 alpha theta. Okay, in that way we are going to replace those expressions. Okay, now this is regarding the expressions. Now if the acceleration is also changing, if there is the concept of constant velocity and variable velocity, and if you are comparing those two, here we are going to consider the constant velocity. This concept is going to give the constant velocity. Okay, now if the velocity is varying, then you are going to get these expressions. Okay, you can identify here instead of variable acceleration, you can consider this as a variable velocity. Okay, if the velocity is varying with respect to time. Okay, previously what you wrote here, velocity equals to s by t. So there the velocity is remaining constant, but here we are considering the second concept. The velocity is varying. What is the meaning here? The distance is changing. So that's why you will get ds. Okay, with respect to the time. So there is a variation in the time also. So the same thing here, omega now can be written as dt d theta by dt. So simple thing is that here this concept is variable. Okay, and in the previous concept it is constant. Here it is the constant velocity. If you can go here, here it is a constant velocity. Okay, now the comparison, just comparison. Just for idea, we are mentioning these particular equations. What is the time now? It is 10 past 3. So I think up to this particular point, it is enough for the mid-examination. Okay, up to that particular point, you can refer for the mid-examination. Okay, now what actually we had seen here today? Let me stop the recording.